guys, welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video we have an awesome topic to talk about, and I can't wait to get into it. So this video will serve as a review for chapter 237, however I really just want to focus on this topic. With that said, if you have not kept up with the manga, don't watch this video because, of course, spoilers. Let's go ahead and get into today's topic. What is today's topic? Today's topic is the name Shigaraki. So let me catch you up to speed here. So, in the past couple of chapters, we have learned about Tomoe Shigaraki's terrifying and sad past. It turns out that he was a normal kid. He grew up with a normal family, a happy family. But the thing is, his father was abandoned by his mother. At least he feels that way. We know the truth about his mother, but we unfortunately get this story for Tomoe Shigaraki that is just so sad. So his father was pretty much abandoned by his mother. He feels like he was abandoned by his mother. His mother, a hero, was abandoned by him, and I cannot express the comparisons between, of course, Tomoe's father and Kota. That was obviously set up in the beginning for us to learn later about Tomoe's father, and what Tomoe's father had to go through and ended up like could have been what Kota would have ended up like if not for Midoriya. But that's the thing. Kota had someone. He had Midoriya to stand up for him. This guy didn't. And while he was smart and he built his home, he built his family, he still never liked heroes. And when Tomoe Shigaraki wanted to be one, he said, no, you can't. And he put him down because of it. Not only did he do that, but eventually he got to the case where he basically just ended up abusing the kid. It wasn't like abuse. It was more like a spanking here and there until it got too bad where he just wouldn't listen, and then right up the side of the head, you know what I mean? But the fact is, Tomoe Shigaraki was being abused, and what happens next is his quirk awakens. His quirk awakens, and his quirk destroys things that he doesn't like. And it's interesting. As soon as that happens, he runs away and he looks for someone to help him. But while there were a few people who stopped to talk to him, no one reached a hand out to help him. No one. Except one person, that's right, All For One reached out to him. We already know that. But it's still a pretty darn tragic backstory, especially now that we know the whole story of Tomoe Shigaraki. And God, he just looks like, when he's young, when he's little, he looks a lot like a little Midoriya. That is not done without purpose. That, seriously, he did that on purpose. The creator definitely did that on purpose. Now, Tomoe Shigaraki has basically forgotten his past. He's locked those memories away. He doesn't want to dwell on those memories. However, what his master has done for him, what All For One has even told him, All For One, while he has forgotten his past, thanks to All For One, he has not forgotten the pain and the suffering that he's been through. So that's why he wears the hands of his dead family as well as the dead enemies. You know, the first time he becomes Tomoe Shigaraki, the first time he really kills someone because he wants to, that's when All For One gives him more hands, and that's what he wears. He wears those hands to remind him of what he's been through. And that's just absolutely terrifyingly sad. It gets worse though. And this is where I want to really talk about the topic of this video. Tomura. Why is his name Tomura? Tomura means torture, means suffering, basically. That's his first name. But where did Shigaraki come from? Where did shigaraki come from? It turns out that the name shigaraki is all for one's name. Now, it doesn't specifically say that it's a first name or a surname. I'm pretty sure it's a surname because, of course, Tomura Shigaraki. Shigaraki is the surname of Tomura, so I'm pretty sure it's his surname as well. It's all for one's surname as well. And now this is really interesting because you gotta think about his brother. His brother would share the same last name too, won't he? So it's interesting. Of course, Midoriya and All Might don't know this, but the name Shigaraki, the last name of his brother, the name that really should be the one that you tie in with the symbol of peace and all and one for all. Instead, All for One kept that name. All for One, and this is again All for One not only keeping his name, it's his surname, it's his thing, but he also uses it to basically, at least I think, he also uses it to basically put down his brother more. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Shigaraki, the name of a great hero, is actually now the name of a great villain. All for One uses that. And he knows that. He knows that his name should be coexisting with the hero, but that's why he uses it for himself. He's Shigaraki, the big bad guy, the evil one. And he also gives little Tomura the name Shigaraki as well. And now he becomes the great symbol of evil, right? So the name that should be the symbol of peace, the symbol of hope, the symbol of heroism, is the name of evil. I love it. And I'm pretty sure that All for One knows that and uses that to his advantage. It's all, again, just to get back to his little brother and, for that matter, All Might. He's been doing that from the very beginning, pretty much. And it's just interesting. I like that. And that's the part that I really wanted to focus on in this video. The name Shigaraki is the name of the first One for All, the first One for All user. Wow. And now it's only held as the greatest villain name. There's a poetic to it, and it's really, really sad. And you can see just how twisted of a man All for One is because he uses that name. With that said, he truly does seem to care about Tomura Shigaraki, and that's actually the worst of it. The real question you gotta ask is, does All for One actually care for Shigaraki? I mean, you might think, because you know, Tomura was, of course, the grandson of his greatest enemy, so he kind of thought, oh, you know what, I'll turn the grandson of my greatest enemy into me, into a villain. And that was, again, just to bite back at not only his greatest villain, but his greatest enemy, but All Might. That's just crazy to think about that. But does he actually also care for this kid? That's the question. And he seems like he does more and more. And I think I have an idea on why. I think I have an idea, and I said it before in another video. I titled it All for One's Past. I'll leave a link to it in the description below if I remember to. I might not. But it's an older video, so it's kind of a sucky video. But the fact is, I don't think All for One thinks of him as the greatest villain. Like, he's like, You call me the greatest villain? Fine. You know what? I've lived this long, you want to call me that? Fine. I'm the greatest bad guy, blah, blah, blah. But I really think that he must have thought that he was the greatest hero at some point. Because think of it. The greatest villains in all of history, in all of anime, in all of storytelling, the best villains don't think that they're villains. I mean, just think of, for a great example, Thanos. He didn't think he was a villain. He thinks that he was the hero. He had a good story to tell. And I think that's what's going to happen with All For One. When we finally get All For One's true backstory, it's going to be a lot like Thanos. You know, with him, with his young, quirkless brother, in a world where quirks are seen as bad things, and then he gets the gift to not only give quirks but take quirks, and the people without quirks wants that power, and the people with the power just wants to be normal, and he's the hero who's able to do something about it, and they start praising him for it. And just like how Bakugo got a big head about it, he got a big head about it, and he became the leader of the entire nation. And everyone thinks the leader of an entire nation is always the bad guy. I'm sorry, but every leader is always pitched to be the bad guy of a villain, of a story. But the fact is, most of the time, they actually think that they're the good guys. They actually think that they're the heroes. And it was just one bad day, one bad mess up, which really must have been one bad day. It had to be something to do with his little brother, and then of course All Might destroying all of his friends. And that's the thing. The way he talks, it seems like he actually cares about his comrades, that he cares about his friends, that he cares about Shigaraki. And that would be the saddest part, and the greatest twist, is if he actually was the hero of his story. And by the time that he was pretty much wronged and torn down and looked upon as a villain, he's like, alright, I'm the villain. You know what? I don't care. I just want to get back to the top, and I want to do wrong to those who have done me wrong. Basically, that's what's going on. That's why All For One has such a grudge against any One For All user, against All Might, and of course Nana Shimura. And he does truly care about Tomoe Shigaraki, but it's still always going to be about that thing of just, he's just trying to get back at them. I think that's what's going to go on. I can't wait to actually find out All For One's backstory, especially now that we know his last name is Shigaraki. That's assuming that his last name is Shigaraki. If Shigaraki actually ends up being his first name, well, then this video will end up being pointless then. But I loved the story. I mean, Tomoe Shigaraki's backstory, his name, the way he was risen up and just became the greatest villain of them all, is a great story. I really do enjoy it. But I can't deny, now, I'm just interested in All For One. What is his story? I hope we do eventually get that. We're probably not going to get that for a long time, but nonetheless. Alright, so I was sitting down to actually edit this, and I was going over my notes, and it seemed like I missed something that I wanted to put in the video, so I'm just putting it in now. There is an extra hand that All For One gives Shigaraki. What could that extra hand be? I have an idea. Don't take this as facts. This is an idea. I think it was Nana Shimura's only hand left. That was the only thing that was left of her, was that one hand, and he gave that extra hand to, of course, Tomoe Shigaraki. And I don't think I also talked about this. Tomoe Shigaraki doesn't need to remember that fear anymore. That's why he destroys his father's hand as well. Alright, that's it. I love this chapter. Fantastic chapter. Let me know down in the comments below, what did you guys think about this chapter, and what did you guys think about anything I had to talk about in this video, especially about the name Shigaraki. I'm out. Bye.